I honestly didn't want it to go back onto her property because I was afraid of what would have happened to it.
That's why I bred her, because I did not buy her to be a broodmare. I bought her to be a riding horse, and she's not.
I never imagined that she'd sell them right from underneath me. Because if there wasn't something wrong,
I'm not going to even talk to you.
That's completely unreasonable.
If you want to fight, I can get you boxing gloves, but we're not here for that. My first case ever with worms.
Come here, Sophie. Get him, Rusty.
Can I say something?
No. If she hadn't had an oral agreement, how do you do? I know you've all been sworn. I have read your complaint, ma'am. As a matter of fact, I've read 2 complaints. You have 2 lawsuits against the bosses. Is that correct?
That's correct.
Was there a lease agreement made with one of them?
Yes, it was made with Christine Boss.
And what was that about?
It was a lease agreement because she was interested in purchasing the horses, but I was going to allow her to test them out first.
Okay. Do you have the lease agreement?
Yes, I do.
I also have a counterclaim against her, which I did not have time to prepare in court.
What is the basis for your counterclaim?
In regards to the feed and the care and everything that I did with the horses when she wasn't doing it, because she had left them on my property for.
Why did you wait till now to file it?
Because I didn't know about this case until 6 days ago.
How much are you suing for?
I didn't have time to prepare the full balance.
Ma'am, unless you tell me what it is, and first of all, she's got to give her permission to do it.
Okay.
And unless she knows what it is, I don't know if she can give her permission.
Well, that's fine if she does or doesn't.
Yep, but tell me what it's about.
Okay, because she's already seen the paperwork. It's regarding boarding, includes feeding, cleaning stalls, showing, and working with the horses. Showing as far as because I had advertised the horses for her.
How much are you suing?
$1,300 for that, and then also another $600, which I've got all the receipts for food and ads, and just vet care.
All right. How do you feel about that?
That's fine.
Okay. Did you sign this lease agreement?
Yes, I did. Under the understanding that both horses were valued at that, and that the horses were sound. I had not known anything about the horses. When I had gone to her house to pick up a trailer to go pick up T-Boy, the gelding, we had started to talk about the mare. I had told her she was over.
What is this horse?
Joy. She's a mare. I had asked her about her. I had said she was out of my budget at the time, but it looks to me that you don't have time showing and stuff. You know, I'll go ahead and take her on my property, and I'll go ahead and advertise her and show her and sell her for you. I was not interested at her at that time. She said that she would go ahead and bring over food every week for her and pay me for advertising, and also 10% for what I got for sale of her mare. And I said that was fine. That seemed understandable.
Did you sign another agreement?
No, this was verbal. And so in a week's time, they came over to barbecue. She did not bring any hay. She said she'd be over the next day. They did not show up that weekend to feed their horses, or to feed their horse at that time. I was feeding T-Boy. That weekend, my husband tried to ride T-Boy. He'd try to buck him off, rear him, and then after he took off the saddle, he tried to tie T-Boy up. T-Boy kicked my husband and had a really big attitude, I guess. I don't know what for.
Well, what happened? What happened to T-Boy?
Well, what happened to him?
Yes.
He was sold.
Who sold him?
So I sold him.
How much? For how much?
$500.
Your Honor, can I say something?
Not yet.
And in regards to T-Boy, I feel that contract was falsified because.
Falsified? What does that mean?
Well, it was falsely signed by me.
What do you mean falsely? What do you mean by that?
In the contract, like I said, we made an agreement that everything was truth when we signed the contract.
It says you will be totally responsible for their care. Mm-hmm. When the horses are returned to Ashley, you guarantee their health. Mm-hmm. If anything should cause the horse to be injured, lame, killed while in your care, you will pay the following: Joy, $3,500, Pretty Boy, $1,700.
And I had let her know that when we were in conversation with this contract, that you're being honest with me. You're telling me that the horses have had the training you've said they've had, and also that they're sound. And she said yes. They are. They're absolutely sound. Because I told her I will not sign anything.
They were not sound?
And I will not, no, and she's still not. And that I will not show anything that's not sound because I'm not going to
Did you notify her that you were going to sell the horse?
Yes, she knew about the mare because the agreement was with the mare. The agreement was with the mare that like I said, I was never interested in her. I did not have the money. That's why I was looking at the less expensive one. T-Boy was $1,700 at that time. That was in my price range. She was not in my price range. She wanted $3,500.
By what authority did you sell it?
By what authority?
Yes.
Well, that's what I wanted to prove in my case, that I feel that she had neglected the horses, the lack of care and the lack of
Why didn't you just give her the horse back?
Because I honestly didn't want it to go back onto her property because I was afraid of what would have happened to it.
Did you give her the $500?
No, I did not, because I used that in cover for food and care of the horses. We had to retrain.
What happened to the other horse?
She's right here. The mare's right here.
Well, this is the
She sold the horse. She told me that they had been stolen.
You sold the other horse.
But I was able to look
for $500. Well,
she was sold for $1,500, and I currently owe her.
This was sold for $1,500.
Yeah, and I currently.
Did you buy the horse?
Yes, I did.
For $1,500?
Yes, I did.
And I currently.
Well,
owe her.
wait a minute. Did she give you a bill of sale? Did she give you?
Yes, she did.
Do you have a copy of it?
I gave it to.
And it's right here, Your Honor.
people.
And I currently owe her $500 because she had let me know that her horses were sound. Well, come to find out, her horse is not sound, and I owe her $500 because of that. And I don't feel that I'm responsible because I was told that the horses were sound.
When you gave her those two horses, or whether she obtained those two horses, were they sound?
They were sound, Your Honor, and that's why I had her sign the form, because my worst fear was that she would hurt one of them. I never imagined that she'd sell them right from underneath me.
Yeah, they were sound. They were sound.
Yes.
When she took them from her.
Right.
But her farrier came out and shoot her, and he put 2 nails too close, and when he did, it caused her to be lame the way she is right now. And she has been lame for probably
Since
5 to
February.
6 months
Since
due to
February.
the fact that her farrier's
Your
lack
Honor,
of experience.
Did your
I did not
farrier
call
go
out the
to-
farrier. She called out the farrier.
You called out the
No,
farrier.
I
Your
did
horse
not.
was your
Whoa,
farrier.
whoa, whoa.
I would have called out my farrier. I had never even heard of her farrier.
Did you
except
tell
for
her
the
you were
fact-
going to call the farrier?
No, she said that she would have her. I said the horse's shoes need to be done. That's okay. My farrier is really cheap. I'm going to go ahead and bring him on over. And I said, okay, that's fine. And she paid for it. He sent her a
Did you
bill.
pay for the farrier?
No, I did not. I
Well,
did
we
not
didn't
pay
pay
for
him,
it.
so I guess
as
you
it,
didn't get
as
any
it said in
money.
the contract, she was to do all their care. I didn't even know the horse had gotten shoed. I knew nothing about it.
Tell me where in this agreement it says that the horses are sound.
We were not.
I'm going to ask you a question. Just
Okay, she says, okay.
Tell me if there's anything in the agreement that says that she guarantees you that the horses are sound.
No. That she's not guaranteeing her health? No, she's not guaranteeing.
You signed that, didn't you?
Yes.
Did you read it before you signed it?
Okay,
But-
yes, I read it.
What?
Yes, I read it before I signed it, and
Okay.
also, I had not had time to spend with the horses. I had just seen that horse that evening. You know, this
That's
mare
your
right here.
problem, ma'am.
Okay.
Not hers.
Okay, then I feel this contract should be null and void because
Why?
she lied. She had told me that these horses were worth the mare $3,500 and the gelding $1,700. The gelding was not worth $1,700. We had found out that after the fact, what had happened to my husband, how he got reared off
What
and
were the
almost
horses worth?
injured. Her boyfriend,
What were the horses worth?
Pretty Boy was probably worth what I got for him. I barely got that for him because he had no train. He was.
I still am trying to find out by what authority you could sell her horse. Oh. You ever hear the expression, you shouldn't take the law into your own hands?
And I understand that, and I shouldn't have. I should have done it, did it all legally. I should have gone through the court system regarding it.
You're so right.
And I understand that.
What's your net worth, ma'am?
Mine?
Yeah.
I don't have one.
None? You're worth zero?
No,
me, Your
I'm
Honor.
priceless.
She talked to her.
No, wait, I just
She talked
asked.
to her twice and
I'm
asked her to
asking,
pick the horses
excuse
up.
me, sir. I asked her a question and I'm trying to find out the answer. And I'll tell you the reason why I want to find out. Because you converted the horses to your own use without any authority, without any legal authority, certainly. And I'm not sure if you had any moral authority. And so in order to assess punitive damages or set an example of you, I want to find out what your net worth is, because that's what the law says I have to do.
Okay, I don't feel a human's life should have a price tag on it.
I didn't ask you about a human's life.
Well, I don't have a
We're
net worth
talking
for
about a
myself.
horse and a contract.
And I understand that. And she had asked me, verbally asked me,
I want to go into
to
your
sell
net.
the
I want to go
horses.
into your net worth. You have any money in the bank?
Yeah,
How much?
I don't know.
Approximately.
I don't have any idea.
You have a joint account with your husband?
Yes.
How much money do you have in your account, sir?
Probably a $400.
$400? You work?
Me?
Yes.
No.
Do you?
Yes, sir.
How much do you earn?
About $2,000 a month.
You have any stocks or bonds? Either one of you?
Nope.
You have an automobile? What kind?
A Honda Accord.
What's it worth?
About 6,000-7,000.
Is that the only car you have?
No, 2 cars, Your Honor.
What's the other car?
A Volkswagen Jetta.
What's that worth?
About $7,000.
You have any real property? What?
A home.
What's it worth?
She doesn't have any real property. It's my house. It's in my name. It's not in her name. So it's not even relevant to this at all.
It's in your name alone?
In my name alone, sole.
Can I say something, Your Honor? I found out by running their property that she had the house deeded over to him in May. It used to be joint property. Because I also found someone else she's done this to, and I felt that she did that because of fear from lawsuits.
Was the property once in your name?
No, absolutely
That's a
not.
lie, Your Honor.
That is a lie, and I'd like to see proof of that.
I'd
you
like
have
to see
proof?
it too.
Wait, do you have any proof of it?
No, I didn't. I
Where
had
is
my
it?
real estate
Wait a
agent
minute.
round
One
the
at a
property,
time.
And I
the
can get
property
you-
was deeded over to him. It used to be joint in May. I believe it was made.
You have any personal property?
I don't
We
remember
just
it.
purchased
Do you have
the
any
home.
personal property
Me?
that's of value?
Oh, my car. We just purchased the home like in April. Why would I switch
What's
it
it
over?
worth?
Eric?
Yeah, my house is worth $112,000.
$112,000?
Yes, sir.
You mean free and clear?
No, not free and clear. I owe on it. 30
How much
years.
do you owe?
$110,000.
So you got a $2,000 equity. What are you here to tell me, sir?
I was with her when all verbal agreements were made and the arrangements for the purchase of the horses were.
What is this thing about the saddle?
Okay.
Is that a separate deal?
Yes, it is.
Was it made the same day?
No, it was not. It was
When-
made about a week later.
I'd like to see it in writing, Your Honor.
Well, we'll find out. Do you have any writing on it?
No, Your Honor, I do not.
What did you do with this? Who'd you give the saddle to or sell it to?
Okay, what happened is she was saying how she.
Who did you sell the saddle to?
No, I didn't sell it. I let them borrow it.
You let them borrow it?
I let
Who
Eric
borrowed it?
Eric Boss
No, I
borrowed the
did not.
saddle.
No.
John was there when
No,
he
I
did
did
it.
not.
I was there.
And if you'd like to call
And I
the
was there too. She gave it to me because I had.
Oh, you're the one that has the saddle.
No, I had the saddle.
You had it. What'd you do with the saddle?
It was in with the horse that went.
For
It was-
$1,500? Did you buy a
No,
saddle too?
the one,
No, I did not.
T-Boy.
Oh, for $500 you got that included the saddle.
Yes, it was a used saddle, so.
How old was
Your
the
Honor,
saddle?
we purchased the saddle brand new in March of '97 for $750. I also have an estimate.
Let me see your. got a
I don't
receipt?
have a receipt. No,
I'd
I
like
do
to see the
not.
receipt,
But
Your
it was a very
I
nice.
would too, sir.
A nice saddle. It was a 17-inch, very high quality reining saddle. And what I did was I had my Roger, my trainer.
Are those notarized?
Put an estimate of the value of the horses at the time because he had been training on them, and I also
Well,
had
if it
him
was
put.
worth $750, ma'am, why are you suing for $625?
Because I realized that we had used it about 6 or 7 times, and I figured that it was a fair value because they had wanted to purchase it from me, and I told them they could purchase it from me for $625.
What did you pay for the 2 horses?
I paid, I believe, $1,000 and $1,100.
Do you have receipts for them?
Yes, I do, Your Honor. I was able to get
Let me
those.
see 'em.
And I've had them for about a couple.
And the
horses for
saddle
about
I
2
saw
years.
advertised for $395 and a quarter horse magazine.
Well, then why did
brand
you
new.
sell it? Why did you sell it with the horse
That was
for
brand
$500?
new. That was brand new. Like I
What
said,
was
the
it
saddle
worth?
was used.
What was it worth?
Probably about, I would say, I mean, you can get that saddle
Yeah, I got the
at a lot of places. It was a 17-inch roping saddle, not a reining saddle, and it was. It's probably you could probably pick it up for about between $200 and $300.
So you sold the horse and the saddle for
Well, the
$500?
horse. I mean, you know what? I wasn't going to take the horse to the auction. I offered to feed lease it for a month. I gave her $100, and I offered to feed it for a month. to try it out because I had a concern.
You tried it out?
Yes, and the first time
Did
we
you
tried,
like the horse?
No, because the first.
Then why didn't you give it back?
Well, this
She
is.
did try to give it back,
I did
Your
try to
Honor.
give it back.
She asked her to keep it.
suggested at that time. See, that's
On her
when
property.
this comes in with the mare. She asked me to sell the mare for her. Why would I advertise this mare? And she says she's going to pay for the ads if I'm not going to advertise these horses.
Okay, Your Honor, on June 21st, I went to Christine's house because I had not received payment for the horses. She told me that she was trying to refinance her house, and she kept putting me off and off. And she had told us that, and the officer, that she had subleased the horses to somebody in El Cajon. So I investigated that, and the police had no reports or anything like that. And then I did a little PI work myself and was able to find the one horse that was sold to Sandy here. And I would like for Sandy to be able to talk about a couple of things.
Okay, I'll listen to you.
Okay. Well, I went to see the horse a couple of times before I bought her. The first time it had rained, and the mare was dead lame. She was standing in her corral holding up one leg. She was also skin and bone. She's probably gained 300 pounds in the 6 months that I've had her.
When was that, ma'am?
She's
February.
pregnant also.
Well, she also gets a lot more food.
Well, I was feeding
Wait a
her.
minute.
It was in February, the beginning of February. And I told Christine that I wasn't interested in the horse because she was dead lame. And I went
Do you know
about my
what she was
business.
lame? What the cause of the lameness was?
I told her at the time I thought she either had been hot nailed by a shoer or had an abscess because she was standing in the mud. It's common in the winter.
How is the mare now?
She's still lame. That's why I bred her, because I did not buy her to be a broodmare. I bought her to be a riding horse, and she's not sound to be a riding horse. Okay. She also told me that she owned the horse. She told me that a friend of hers had owed her some money, and in lieu of the money, she had given her these two horses, which was this mare and the big chestnut gelding.
Yes, I did.
Is that truthful?
Yes, I did say that.
I said, was it truthful?
Oh, no, huh? Yes, I did say it. No, it wasn't truthful.
So you're telling me that you lied to her?
Yes, I did.
Well, and then she lied to me again.
When?
Because I told her that I would not purchase the mare, even as a broodmare, without the papers, her registration papers, because without them, she's basically a great horse and not worth anything. So she said that she had shipped the papers to her mother-in-law in Texas, where they were going to move, and she promised that she would send them back to me if I paid for the mare, and I said, not on your life. Am I paying for a horse until I have the papers with it? So 3 or 4 days later, she called and she said, guess what? My mother-in-law found the papers and sent them back.
Did you ever see the papers from her mother?
Yes, I got the papers. She had the papers, but the papers never went to Texas. She told Angeline she had to have them. I
She
find
was
out
able to
now.
scam those out of me. She's a very
Did you
good
give her the
liar.
papers?
Yes, but I did not sign the back of them. She said that she didn't know if she could afford the horse, but she saw
You
somebody that
lied
was...
twice?
She said that she
Yes,
knew
I lied to
somebody
her.
that was...
You lied to her and you lied to her.
Yes.
She said that she knew
Tell
somebody
me why I
And
should
is it-
believe you.
I understand. If you don't believe me, as in regards to the mare,
Come back, give you my decision. Thank you.
comes around and life goes around. And one day you will
Exactly.
get yours.
That's probably why you're
You will
here
get yours.
today.
Oh, the horses were stolen, huh? You're just such a big liar.
you know why? Because I'm sorry, I didn't
Yeah,
feel
they
like
were
seeing those
stolen.
horses
No,
wither
yeah, you
away
don't
and
want me to know
die.
that you sold it right
You know
after
what?
underneath
And I have
me.
pictures. You
Took
know
them
what? I was
underneath
doing
me.
the horses a
Oh,
favor.
you're doing the horses a favor.
You know
No,
what?
it sounds like you're doing yourself a favor because you kept all the money. Yeah.
Remain seated and come to order. This court is again in session.
I guess there's nothing that irritates me more than to have someone be untruthful, especially in a court of law. Bothers me no end. But we have a defendant here who says she lied twice, admits it, and then wants me to believe her version of the story here in open court. But I can't do that, and I won't do it. What you did was to convert someone else's property to your own use. No authority to sell that horse at all.
Can I please say something?
No. No.
Well, she gave me authority to sell the horses.
And you expect me to believe whatever you tell me, and that's what I'm not going to do. See, that's the price you pay. You may be telling the truth today and have lied twice before, but that's the price you pay when you lie. because then your credibility is really an issue. And this lady has got a bill of sale for a horse that you didn't own the seller. Now, what's she going to do in relationship to the plaintiff? I don't know, but I'm not going to, that's not before me now. But you've put her in jeopardy too, because she's got a horse and she's got papers that don't mean anything. And I don't want to get into that aspect of it. But you converted these 2 horses and a saddle to your own use, sold 2 of them, pocketed the money, the plaintiff is out. So what you did was intentional. I think it was malicious, it was fraudulent, and therefore the plaintiff is going to prevail. The sad part of it is that I can't give her what she's entitled to fully, because my limit is $5,000. And I think that the horse transactions and the saddle were one and the same. I mean, it was a transaction with this lady only, not her husband. And so you can't get 2 separate judgments. They all are lumped together in the same ball of wax. Your horses are worth, according to a witness, according to the agreement that was signed by the defendant, $3,500 and $1,700 respectively. That's $5,200. Plus $625 for the saddle, plus I would allow you punitive damages to make an example of her in a sum of $3,000, bringing a total of $825. But I can't give you that much because my authority doesn't go that high. It only goes up to $5,000. So your husband's off the hook because he wasn't involved in any of this and he didn't sign anything. So my judgment is for him on the plaintiff's complaint or complaints, and it is against you in the sum of $5,000.
Thank you. Well, I'm happy about getting the money for the one, but I do feel that she's done this to other people out there.
In the future, get everything on paper, write in a contract, and get the horses vet checked or make sure that they're sound before I bring them into my property so that I can't get this all thrown on me and make me look like the bad guy.
Or she especially, he had a little to do with it, not as
didn't have
much as
anything
her,
to do
but
with
I
it.
found other people she's done this to.
Because
You know,
and
like I said,
eventually
Plaintiff
somebody's going to
focused
get her
attention on her,
criminally
not
for
me.
this.
Just a minute, Angeline. Wait, you brought 2 lame horses to my house. Let me know
Christine,
they're
you know
sound.
you're lying.
Why
You're
would
nothing
you
but a
guarantee?
big liar,
Why would you
and
guarantee
everybody
me?
knows that. And
Why
I'm
would
so
you want
glad
me
that
to
at least
guarantee their
national
soundness?
television
And you
got to
not?
see what a big
Okay.
liar you really
and you're not
are.
lying here.
Nothing
and you,
comes out
you-
of your mouth
you
is
sold
any
me.
truth,
Oh, okay,
Christine.
and this horse is lame because I did it.
Let them use my horses, let them try it out.
Oh, look at
I
you.
was
You
made a
tried to
fool
come
out
over
of
to
because
my
I was a
house
trusting person.
Once to barbecue. She wants to come back and visit her horses and go riding all the time. You didn't care about those horses.